Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWorkBoxing. It feels good to be back. Some of y'all thought I wasn't coming back. No, I just took a break. Man. But Bodywork is here to stay. Contrary to popular belief. I'm doing some rebranding, and I'm calling it Conversations That Matter. This one, the topic of the conversation is Bewildered, starring Deontay Wilder. I've often had a lot of my fair share of criticism for Deontay Wilder. I do think that he is a polarizing figure. I think that he does enough on both ends to be able to create a mystery or create a desire for you to want to be able to see him on the big screen. From the knockouts, from wondering if somebody can ever figure out that puzzle, or if somebody can last and survive that haymaker that he likes to throw, or that right hand, and all of the things that he likes to say. Well, the last time when we seen Deontay Wilder, I said before his fight with Robert Helenius that I never heard Deontay Wilder talk so much about money. It's money this, and I got enough money to do this, and I got enough money to do that, but I also, polarizing, I also seen one of the best interviews with Brian Custer that I ever saw of Deontay Wilder. It was almost like he was doing his little mystical speech thing that he would be doing, and then at some point in time something clicked, and it was almost like he forgot he was in front of the cameras, and you got to see the real Deontay Wilder, and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna get this fight with Helenius, even though I was one of the people that pointed out it was his sparring partner who he had over 100 and something rounds of sparring with. I've already expressed myself about the choice in getting his coach Malik, somebody that he knocked out before, and I just think that at this point in time, man, I think the listening to the yes men is starting to really take its toll and add up for Deontay Wilder, man. I was like, man, I just put him in my boxes to watch collection to show that, hey, man, look, you could turn the corner in my, now who am I? But you could turn the page in my book, and I'll get behind you, if you are going in the direction that I like people to go in. And I thought that the build up for Ruiz, with Ruiz having a common opponent with Areola and Louis King Kong Ortiz, those are common opponents of Wilder, having beat AJ, him climbing back up from after beating AJ, getting the title, and then AJ avenging his loss, and then him working his way back up, even suffering a knockdown by Areola, in that fight, but him working his way up. And I saw this thing where, okay, 3 out of the last 4 fights that Wilder had, he didn't win. He had a draw, he got knocked out twice, and then he came out and he knocked out a guy who he sparred with over 100 times. You're not gonna hear this from his fanboys, You're not gonna hear this from his only fans. You're gonna hear this from people who are, boxing purists. Or people that are fans of sport. You're not gonna hear that, but I said, you know what? Wilder's getting back on track. He's doing what he needs to do. And I'm like, after I heard about the comments that he said, I was like, okay, well, cool. We're gonna get a Ruiz and Wilder. And I said, man, that's the perfect speed versus power. And a lot of people were saying that Andy Ruiz had no chance. Well, a lot of people didn't think that Andy Ruiz had a chance against AJ. And he proved that wrong. So I was like, man, they would want to crash collision. And next thing you know, we were getting in, and then it was, all these other talks, and then pops up Ngannou. And I said, what the, Francis Ngannou? Clearly that's a money grab. And so you got to think that if your yes man said, hey, I'm going to, go ahead and spar, and, go ahead and fight your sparring partner. Knocked him out in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. First round. Put him to sleep. Boom. Didn't even catch him flush. Didn't even put everything on it. Boom. But the pay-per-view numbers suck. And for that fight, you got 20 mil for that. And so because they looked at the numbers and they said, man, a la Bud. It's like the numbers aren't going to warrant or justify 20 million, 70, 80,000 pay-per-views, if that. It's not going to warrant 20 million. And regardless of what people want to say, Andy Ruiz has a Mexican fan base. It's part of the green print. It's the same thing that everybody knocks Tank and Floyd for, and they're getting to the money. But to say no, or to rule out the fact that it was gonna be Andy Ruiz, and it was a little glimpse of, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get down with Andy Ruiz, but now all of a sudden, Ngannou with a 1-1, where he boxed you and then you go fight him in MMA. I said, man, look, they were already willing. Wilder, I don't care if you listen to nobody, you know what I'm saying? I might not be the fanboy like you got, like on that other channel, the guy that's infatuated with death and graves and all this other stuff. I might not be that, but I am a fan, and I'm gonna say, man, you gotta stop listening to these dudes, because these dudes are willing to let you die at the expense of them being able to make content and get paid. I don't have to do that. I'm just saying, look, man, stop listening to these yes men. Need to fight Andy Ruiz. That's a plus. There's nothing good for Ngannou but a paycheck, but especially in MMA. You're gonna step into MMA with arguably the best heavyweight in MMA, like hardest hitting. What if he could survive that punch? He's prepared to get kicked in the head and all that. But like, what if he survives and hit? Like, it's just crazy to me. I think legacy-wise and on a boxing stance, and to not aid in this, where we're taking boxing into wrestling with this cross MMA stuff. This is why Jake Paul and them are thriving. Yeah, he has boxers that he give money and he's doing great things for the women. I don't knock him for that. But as far as boxing purists, man, this is not a step in the right direction in regards to boxing. And I don't think it's a good step in your career. I think that, yes, you could make one more run at it, but it does not include Ngannou. It's just like, in hindsight, people were blaming Conor McGregor or pointing fingers at Conor McGregor for getting a shot right away at Floyd because he had a name. It doesn't make boxing sense. Now your only fans are gonna get behind you and say, "Oh yeah, man, he could do whatever he want," but they were just saying he was set and all that. Well, if you so set money wise, why wouldn't you go ahead and get rid of Andy Ruiz? Who was Andy Ruiz? Yeah, he's a threat, but he worked his way back up to the top. He has a fan base that's going to support him. And who knows if they would have said, all right, we're going to give you whatever guaranteed up front. And basically, like Espinosa said, you eat what you kill as far as pay-per-view wise. Because people are going to come out and buy that fight. The proof is in the pudding with fighting Hellenius, in that they knew you sparred that man over 100 times. So the numbers didn't show up. But you got the bag then. So I don't understand. I'm leaning towards Ruiz. I'm like, man, is he lost? Is he bewildered? Let's make it make sense. And let's be real, man. Like, I don't want to hear none of this, oh man, hating on the black man and all this. I don't want to hear none of that. It does not make boxing sense. What makes boxing sense is for you to fight a boxer who worked his way back up in Andy Ruiz. You can save the Ngannou or any of that novelty boxing for when you hang it up and you just want something to do like Floyd, but you can't start this now because in boxing wise, nobody's gonna take you serious. You gotta think, when Floyd did that, he was at the end of his, and then he went on to his novelty boxing thing. He was at the end of his career when he did that. And then he went off into that. So if this is a signal for you being at the end of your career and you riding off into the sunset because of the bag, and you're going to start doing what Floyd is doing now, let your fans know. But boxing wise, it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Especially with an AJ looming, with a winner of the Fury Usyk looming, with you wanting to be regarded and heralded as the best heavyweight of all time, you still have a chance. Get with Ruiz, finish him, get with AJ, see what happens with that, and then, get back to the winner of Usyk and Fury, and then your career, whenever you want to do after that, will make sense. But I don't understand this right now. Had to do a video about it. I think this is a conversation that matters. What do you think? You know, what do you think? You know, is it acceptable for Wilder to fight Francis Ngannou? And are you willing to let your favorite fighter get hit in the head or get kicked in the face by a guy named Francis Ngannou, who is actually a striker as well? It doesn't make sense. Anyways, thanks for all my likes, all my comments, all my subscriptions. Stay tuned, man. I got a lot of product coming. Got a lot of things to accomplish and a lot of information to get out to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for your patience. Thanks for everybody who stuck with me. I know I lost 5 of y'all. Some of my favorite people are gone. I see them elsewhere. But, hey, the fight, the struggle, the hustle, it all goes on. Rolling right along here at BodyWorkBoxing, where we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.